In this video, I'm going to be talking about ADHD and laziness, how the two relate, and how a lot of you guys are using excuses, using what I would still call the victim mindset, even though you think you've got the Bulldog mindset, to make reasons for why you're not succeeding in life, why you're failing in life. There's a lot of reasons why life is hard. There's a lot of reasons why you may be disadvantaged in life, but all of those reasons, even though they're valid reasons, are excuses. I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. On this channel, I teach you how to be a man. I teach you how to become financially independent, how to build the physique you want, how to get the women that you want, and how to survive in this harsh and cruel world. If you want to develop the Bulldog mindset, you want to get rid of that fucking victim mindset, click that subscribe button, join us on our quest, click the bell so you get notifications, because some of my most controversial videos you're not going to see even if you subscribe, because YouTube doesn't like them. We're going to take a look here at an email I got from Drew. It's a long email. He doesn't know how to break up sentences into paragraphs. Okay, so when I look at an email like this, all right, and this is long, I'm not going to read the whole thing here, okay? But the first thing that I get here is that, I mean, you look at this and it's like my name is spelled wrong. It's all one big block of text. Sophomore is spelled wrong, right? You know, again, like there's a lot of mistakes here, bad punctuation. You know, and some people might say, well, okay, maybe not a native English speaker. It's fine, but taking care, like attention to detail is very, very important. Okay, especially if you're going to email someone, you want to get some advice from someone, right? When I see this, I immediately form an opinion of you, and I know that you're fucking lazy. Okay, now I know that may insult a lot of you, but it's the truth, right? Because it takes some effort to actually craft something that is worthwhile, that is solid communication. If you just throw some shit together and you don't give a fuck, I can already read just from this without reading the email what your life is like. You're attempting to go through life just throwing shit together and hoping it will work. It doesn't work that way. There's people every day that are striving to fucking outdo you, to outcompete you, to get the girls that you want, to get the jobs that you want. And if you are not going to rise to the occasion, okay, you're not going to survive. It's not going to be ADHD's fault. It's not going to be anyone else's fault, okay? So I'm going to go through this briefly. Maybe we'll see what I've followed your videos for roughly 2 years. Came across you when I read your blog on ADHD and how you made it a superpower. I've got the blog post here. We'll put it up in the cards here so you can take a look if you want, guys. I became entranced by your message to live a better life. Okay, so this is a good thing. For over 2.5 years, my life only became better after I had left home, and with the death of my grandfather, inherited a moderate deal of money. And safe to say the situation was more complex than that. Okay. Anyways, I had a good deal of money stolen from me in the process because of my ADHD primarily. So again, here's the thing, right? Maybe we will break this whole thing down. We'll see how boring it gets. Okay. So you're blaming ADHD, okay, from the very get-go. It's not ADHD's fault, okay? Whether you believe it exists or not, okay? You know, if there is such a thing as ADHD, I have it, okay? And I've overcome it. I've used it as a superpower. I've used it to make myself stronger, okay? You can take any adversity and you can say my failure is because of it, or you can say my success is because of it. You'll find plenty of people on both sides of the equation. You'll find people that are disabled, that are actually physically disabled, without limbs, missing limbs, that will say, my life is fucked up and is horrible because of my disability. You will find other people that will say, my life is wonderful. I became a motivational speaker. I changed my outlook on life. I affected so many people with my positivity because of my disability, right? It is neutral, okay? You can choose what you're going to make of these things, all right? So, inattentive, it's largely been the process of my grandfather, who was neurotypical and had improved my life. Okay, so I proceeded to start studying myself from the ages of 12 to 18. I gamed for 18 hours a day and wasted my life force on pornography for many, many hours. Okay, all right, good. That's a good admittance. We need to start there. To be frank, I was a fucking loser for most of not all my youth. All right, that's fine. You know, your youth that's fine. Okay. I managed what was left over from my money and went off to school and a new prescription of Ritalin, and it worked temporarily. All right, I'm not a big fan of prescription of Ritalin. Okay, I feel like it's a crutch. I feel like it's a cop-out. It's not dealing with the problem. All right, you know, medicating yourself is not the solution. Okay, until you've developed the discipline first. Now, if you wanted to use some medication after you've developed the discipline, that's fine. Now you've got control, and maybe, you're like Cyclops and you've got that visor, okay, that's going to help you direct your powers a little bit better once you've mastered them, okay? But first you need to master them. Otherwise, this is going to be a crutch, and what are you going to do without this shit, all right? That's why I'm not for this. I decided to go into political science economics and went to SJSU and proceeded to lose everything in the process by going off medication and lost all my money I'd saved for my summer job, all right? Again, your fault, all right? I don't mean to be a fucking dick and be harsh on you, but this is your fault, okay? ADHD, primarily inattentive, has robbed me of much of my life. I have lost friends, relationships, money, and so much more. I'm not buying it, okay? I've tripled down on improving myself and went off to Idaho into the unknown and have managed around a 3.0 or 3.5 GPA here. That's good, okay? And have your Pomodoro timers religiously to good effect. This is good, okay? I'm not trying to come down on you, but I want you to see where the laziness is here. All right, I've managed to overcome my game addiction with assistance of Ritalin and pornography as well, okay? Again, good things. I wouldn't, again, I'm not a big fan of the Ritalin part, but fine, okay? I'd rather you see your life turn around. I use a planner religiously, but I find myself underachieving. I would describe my sophomore year as a waste and went unmedicated and proceeded to get $900 in parking tickets along with my license suspended, and I've been unable to truly commit like a neurotypical monkey to a single task. Okay, so a couple things here, all right? Getting $900 in parking tickets is not the result of having ADHD. It's the result of being irresponsible and fucking lazy. All right? You can't blame it on ADHD. Okay? All of this stuff that I'm seeing, the pattern, the reason why I'm making this video is because the pattern that I'm seeing here is blaming it. And for you guys that don't have ADHD, right? Whatever, fill in the blank, whatever your fucking problem is. Your dad's an alcoholic. Okay, fuck you. I don't care. That's still not a reason to get $900 in parking tickets, okay? You grew up in a poor house. You're black. You're a minority. Whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. That's all victim mindset. It's all excuses. Valid excuses in some cases, but still excuses, all right? That's the problem here, you guys. You need a fucking kick in the ass because you think that you can just blame your shit on some circumstance in your life, and that is the victim mindset. It is giving away the power to someone else, to something else, and saying, you know what, well, fuck, I'm just in the backseat of the car and someone else is driving. I don't buy that shit. I do not buy that shit, okay? You and I seem to have the same process, yet you seem to have much more energy than me. Okay. My ADHD has made me largely unable to hold down a job. Okay, so let's just say this. Let's just pick apart this. So why do I have more energy? Okay, I don't have more energy, right? And actually, I'm going to get to this, but I'm going to give you guys a shortcut here of what I'm going to talk about later because I'm going to read actually a response to my email that I sent him, all right? But here's the reason why, okay, is because I've trained myself to have more energy, right? I've trained myself. I don't necessarily have more energy. I've just trained myself to do a lot of shit when I don't want to do it, okay? Now, I falter from time to time, all right? I've gone through dips, but when I am on my game, when I seriously need to get some shit done and need to hustle, I force myself to, I don't have the energy, okay? Right now I'm standing here, all right? I'm standing at my standing desk, okay? And I just ran 8 miles today, and I ran 6 miles yesterday, and I'm eating once a day, okay, fasting on a calorie deficit, all right? I don't really have the energy. I don't feel like standing. My legs are fucking dead, okay? But I'm standing, and I'm making this video, okay? And you might say, well, that doesn't require a lot of energy, but it does, okay? It does require a lot of energy, but I'm just forcing myself to do it because that's what I need to do, right? When the shit hits the fan, when you need to get some shit done, you have to just make the mental choice. You can't blame it on anything, okay? You just have to say, I'm going to do it. My ADHD PI has made me largely unable to hold down a job until my new dishwasher position where I told them I had ADHD and they seemed to be willing to work with me. Again, don't tell them this shit. Don't go into a situation telling people you have a handicap. No. If someone tried to tell me I had a handicap, I tell them to fuck off. In fact, people try to tell me all the time that there's whatever your condition. Heck, when I first got my braces, they're like, oh yeah, that must be hard. Like you must, you're coaching guys on game and shit, that must make it more difficult. Fuck no. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to let anything be a handicap to me. I'm going to tell you to fuck off. It doesn't matter what kind of handicap I'm facing, right? I'm not going to allow you to discriminate against me. I'm not going to allow you to have pity on me. Pity is the worst human emotion that you can ever get from someone. Do not seek pity. And when you're telling people about your handicap, You're seeking them to take it easy on you. I want you to kick my fucking ass. I want you to take it harder on me, not easier, okay? I want it to be harder. I was listening to, actually, a friend of mine, I forget which book it was in, but he was talking about a book that he read where in the Navy SEALs, and this is secondhand information, but it's a good story, so it makes sense to me. He said that there's a thing where basically, like, when you're doing PT, physical training, okay, and if you're the last person, right, if you're the weakest, okay, the slowest essentially, then you go to the circus, okay, and the circus, it means that you get to do an extra like 3 to 4 hours that day, okay, and then the next day you're fucked because you just had to work more than everyone else, so you're going to be last again. Okay, so you're going to have to do circus again, right? But guess what happens after you do circus for like 4 or 5 times? Pretty soon you become the top. You start to rise to the top. Why? Because you have trained yourself so hard because you've had to overwork, okay? And so that's the thing here, right? You guys, you need to understand this. I'm trying to figure out where I was going with this. But because I know where I was going with this. So basically this, right? So the thing is that if you focus on the disadvantage, all right, and you blame it and you give up because of the disadvantage, it's going to be a disadvantage. But if you're weaker and then you force yourself to get stronger to overcome that disadvantage, you're going to become stronger than people that don't have the disadvantage because they may have a natural ability or they may not have the weakness at the beginning, but you are going to have the strength of character, okay, the motivation, the commitment that they won't have that's going to push you through, right? It's good sometimes to have someone kick your ass, to make it harder for you, because when it's harder for you, you're going to have to work harder and you're going to have to drive and push more, right? You want to be the guy that the coach gives laps, because the guy that the coach gives laps, it's good because you get to do more endurance training. You get to do more conditioning, so you're going to be in a better condition, okay? So I never want anyone to take it easy on me. I want them to kick my ass, all right? The worst thing you can do is have someone take it easy on you. I'm incredibly shredded because you motivated me and learned how to become an amazing dancer. That's good. Awesome. Great. I'm happy for you. Okay. I have done my best to integrate what you have shown me, but I still feel like a miserable failure. Okay. I have become incredibly attractive. My GPA is okay and my life seems okay, but my medication is forcing me to choose between being a zombie or being social off meds. I'm not exactly sure what this means, but again, false dichotomy here. All right. Skip the medication. Right? I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to give you medical advice, but if it's me, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that shit. In fact, I was on Ritalin as a kid, and I stopped taking the pills. Even before I had my own sovereignty of choice, I still had the choice to spit out the fucking pill, and I did. All right? And I said, no, I'm not taking this shit. You can keep on trying to force feed me fucking Ritalin pills, but I'm not going to take this shit. All right? So this is not the choice that you have. I've studied this disorder as much as I could to improve my life, but I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. Let me tell you why, and then we're going to actually cut to the chase here, okay? Because this is what I want you to do, all right? Forget about ADHD. Forget that it exists. Stop buying into this crap. It may exist. It may actually be a disability that you have. It may be, okay? But I want you to forget it. And this goes for you guys too. Whatever your fucking problem is, I want you to pretend like you don't have it. I want you to live life as if you didn't have it, right? I've gotten emails from guys that have major depression, have like all kinds of, fucked up shit happening in their life. And I've told them the same advice. Pretend like you don't have it. Don't listen to the doctors. Don't listen to the people that are telling you that there's something wrong with you. Yes, there may be something wrong with you, but refuse to believe it, because your life will be better when you refuse to believe it, because you will have a standard, an expectation of yourself that is higher, okay? And the reason why is this. If I tell you, you know what, Jimmy, I know that you want to be a track and field athlete. I know you want to run the 800 meter, but you only got one leg, son. So because you only got one leg, you're just, maybe Special Olympics, something like that, but yeah, you're just not going to be able to run the 800 meter. But it's okay. It's okay. You can just, you can set your bar here. Fuck that. Instead, if you say, I'm not going to listen to any of that. I have one leg. I didn't even fucking notice. And you say, I'm setting the bar high. I'm setting the bar just as high as people with 2 legs. Okay. If you set the bar there, yes, it's going to be a harder path for you. Okay. If you have one leg and you're competing against guys that are running the 800 meter dash that have 2 legs, okay, I guess it's not a dash at 800 meters, but whatever. Okay, if you're running the 800-meter event and you're competing against guys that have 2 legs, guess what? Are you going to have to work twice, maybe 3 times as hard to get as good as them? Yes. Is it possible, though? Is it possible? Now, maybe not at the Olympic level. Okay, at the Olympic level, maybe those guys are training as hard as possible and you can't outwork them. But at the high school level, could you be the state championship of the 800 meter with 1 leg? Is it possible? Could you work harder than every single person? Could you work 3 times as hard as they do? Of course you could. You could. Okay? It doesn't mean that you will. It doesn't mean that someone who has 2 legs won't have the same mindset, but most of them won't. Okay, but that's the mindset that you have to have. Okay, you have to choose to say, fuck the disability. I'm going to set the bar high as if I didn't have it. Okay, that's how you have to live your life, is exactly like that. Because when you set that bar that high, that's what's going to control your behavior. However high your bar is, your standard is where you're going to work. Okay, we have an internal set point. Okay, we have a thermostat, which determines where we go, and we can't rise above it. We can't rise and we can't fall below it for very long. Okay, wherever we set that thermostat is where we go. When I set my thermostat low in life, guess what? I was fucking low. When I set it high, I rose to that occasion. Okay, I rose to that level. So you have to set that thermostat high. Some of that is hanging around with the right people. I've done some videos on this. I'm not going to get into the details there, but again, it's setting that thermostat. And if you accept a disability as making you disadvantaged, you're going to set the thermostat too low. All right. Now, he says, as we speak, my ADHD pie causes me to have a bad decision making that I unintentionally do on purpose. For instance, I took in a roommate and also had ADHD and kicked his fucking ass out after only 6 months, and now I'm liable for $3,500. Okay, making bad decisions and having ADHD, again, all of this, like, I don't even have to go through this. We're probably going to skip a lot of this email because I think you guys can see the point. Every single problem that Drew is having in his life, okay, is based on he's blaming it on his ADHD. If you kicked your roommate out and now you have to pay the full $3,500 a month, that's your fucking fault. You made that choice, okay? ADHD didn't put a gun to your head and make you make that choice, okay? Now, you may have some symptoms of it, but let's ignore that shit because that doesn't matter, okay? So maybe decisions are harder for you to make. Granted, fine. Get better at making them, okay? Get better at focusing. You're going to have to do this because it's your fucking life. I can't come in and make your life better. No one can. You have to choose. And yes, maybe your life is going to be harder, but guess what? I just saw a video of a fucking guy with no limbs flipping a tire in a strength gym, okay? Literally no limbs, like no legs, okay? Just like stumps for arms, all right? Now, is it hard for him to just get to the fucking gym? Like 10 times harder than it is for you to just jump in your car and drive there? Yes. Okay? Is it harder for him when he's in the gym? How does he even get the fucking tire? He has to get some help to get someone to bring it over because he can't bring the tire over to the location and then to bring it back, right? And then to flip the tire, okay? He had to do all that shit. It's 10 times harder for him. Maybe more than that. Maybe 50 times harder, okay? But he's doing it, all right? And that's the whole point is like, you think that it's got to be level. It doesn't have to be level. If it's harder for you to focus, if it's harder for you to make decisions, then it is harder. That doesn't mean that you can't try and learn and work 10 times harder in order to get at the same level as someone who's naturally gifted or doesn't have a disability. Okay, that's the key. This is the victim mindset versus the bulldog mindset. All right. I have great ambitions like you, and I have to sympathize with your message. Your same goal is to be financially free and head off to Stanford graduate school. I'm simply not good enough, and my current pay will not pay off this balance, causing a potential eviction. Okay, again, problems. All right. Yes, I agree. You've got problems, but overall, my friends have left me, and I feel like I've gone nowhere, and my money is quickly running out. I've thought about checking into engineering with a trade or changing my medication, but it feels fruitless. It's not fruitless. Okay, do it. Do something. Pick to a road though, and commit to it. It's confusing that I've worked so hard, and it feels like I'm barely getting anywhere. I wonder there must be an existence where I'm spectacularly successful, and yet I'm not. Okay. Stop fantasizing about that shit. Overall, I'm still a failure with women despite being an amazing salsa dancer and being shredded. What do you think that is? Okay, there's a problem. You got to work on it. All right. I don't know. I don't have enough information to assess it. But, if you think you're an amazing salsa dancer and you're extremely shredded and attractive, then there's some other problem. You got to figure out what that is. Okay, you can't blame it on ADHD. I'm incredibly charming, but my medication causes issues that has put me in a paradox. I wish for financial independence and for a fine-ass wife, but this fucking ADHD is perpetually blocking me, and it's frustrating, okay? So I'm reading more of this than I intended so that you guys can see what it's like, what you guys are doing, okay? A lot of you are doing the same exact shit, okay? Not with ADHD, with something else. Maybe with ADHD, okay? But you're blaming. See how much he's blaming all of his life, all of his circumstances on this thing, okay? This is not the problem. This is why my solution is always, when you tell me what your fucking problem is and what is fucking up your life, is to tell you that that's not the problem and to fucking ignore it and pretend like it doesn't exist. Because imagine how his life would change if he never knew that ADHD was a thing, if he never researched it, if no one ever told him he had ADHD. How would his life be different? He would just think that life is supposed to be this hard, and then he would just go through life just doing what he needed to do. But when he thinks that life is supposed to be easier and that it's easier for other people, which actually it's not, okay? But when you think that, then you give in, you give up, you throw in the towel. All right, let's keep on going here. I'm sick of tired of watching sheep be more successful than I, and like you, I'm propelling myself to be a fucking man. But it's possible I'll be doomed if I stay in Idaho, and I may be go broke. Okay, you're not doing these other people that are succeeding. They're not sheep. You're not better than them. Okay, they're doing what they need to do. You're not doing what you need to do. You can't even write a fucking email. Okay, again, not trying to be a dick, but you can't even write a fucking email and take the time to write it correctly. Okay, you are blaming everything on ADHD, and that's what your problem is. Okay, don't assume other people. You're not better than other people. Okay, don't assume that. Just because you have high aspirations, just because you have high potential, it doesn't make you shit. When I wake up in the morning, and I'll tell you guys this, the truth, okay? No matter what I've accomplished in life, all right? When I wake up in the morning, I think to myself, John, you're a piece of shit, okay? What have you done today? All you did today is open your fucking eyes. It doesn't matter how many fucking medals you have on the wall. It doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account, okay? It doesn't matter how hard you worked yesterday. What matters is what you do today. It's all reset. In the morning, you're new. You don't get to rest on your laurels, okay? So I want you to understand this, is that you're in the same position as everyone else. They're not sheep. They've worked hard. They've accomplished things. They've achieved those things, okay? But you have to start the brand new day as a brand new day, wiping the slate clean. You're a piece of shit when you wake up in the morning. What you do today determines what you're worth today. All right, let's go on here. I'll be doomed if I stay in Idaho. I may be broke, yet if I leave, will I lose my consistency? It's a no-win situation. Yet I get tired very easily and constantly lack energy. It's as if I have a fourth the energy of a privileged neurotypical monkey. I believe I can be spectacularly successful. I just haven't made or figured out the solution just yet. Okay, you don't lack the energy. You don't have 1/4 the energy. Maybe you do, okay? And the reason why is because you haven't tapped into it. So I'm going to get to this in a minute because I'm going to respond to Drew's email here where I responded and then he responded because I've got a solution for this energy thing. But so we're going to skip on to that or past that for now. I usually have more information in mass than most people could in a lifetime. Really? Okay. And maybe that's true. But guess what? This is something that that you need to understand. Yeah, my follow-through is what's lacking. Okay, so here's the deal. There's a lot. Okay, I'm in Mensa. All right, I actually don't go to any of the Mensa meetings. All right, now let me tell you about Mensa people. All right, they have the highest IQ. They know a lot of fucking trivia. Okay, they could do good on Jeopardy, but a lot of the Mensa people that I've met, not all of them. Okay, I'm making a generalization here. They are pathetic. They waste their fucking lives playing Scrabble and chess and showing how smart they are and acquiring all this knowledge, but they don't put it to action. Whereas you have some people, I'm not going to call out names because I don't want to, but there's some people, some gurus out there that are spectacularly successful and famous. Some of them that I looked up to, that I've mentioned on this channel, some of them I've interviewed on this channel, okay? I don't want to necessarily call them out because like I said, but they're not the sharpest tools in the shed. They don't have more knowledge than anyone else, okay? They've got less knowledge, but they know one thing, and they know how to do that one thing, and they take massive action, okay? And you say to yourself when you watch these people, you're like, oh, they're fucking idiots. I hear them. I know more about real estate. I know more about stocks. I know more about fitness than this person. And then But the problem is they're more successful. Why? It's because they take the little knowledge that they have and they act on it. They follow through. That's the key, okay? It doesn't matter how much fucking knowledge you have, okay? All those Mensa people that are working jobs making $60,000 a year at fucking Blockbuster Video, or not Blockbuster anymore, but at fucking CVS or wherever they're, where is it that smart people go now that are way too smart for their job? I don't know. It's GameStop, okay? At fucking GameStop. There's fucking brilliant Mensa people at GameStop, okay? Why? They have a lot of knowledge. These guys, you talk to them, I mean, GameStop is a fascinating place to go in and to just learn trivia. These guys can talk for hours and hours about all kinds of stuff. They're very knowledgeable. They're very fucking smart. But they're also fucking losers. Okay? Why? Because they're not taking fucking action. They're not using that knowledge that they have. All right? It requires discipline. Discipline is what you need. You're fucking lazy. You're lazy. Just admit it. You're lazy. I was lazy, okay? I'm still lazy from time to time, but I have to kick my own fucking ass when I do. I have numerous opportunities with women and just haven't been able to feel like a man totally. Above all, should I change course or stay in Idaho? I don't know. You tell me. Just pick one, all right? I have many friends here and simply don't know what else to do. I've read as much as I could and nothing seems to be working. Other days, I contemplated suicide because of this rage that exists within me not to realize my fucking destiny. It angers me that stupid sheep can do so easily what I've worked so hard to achieve. But you haven't. You haven't worked that hard to achieve, okay? Because, again, and I'll tell you guys, right, I've told you guys the secret to success, right? If you guys have been following me for a while, you can just say it right now. You know it. What is the secret to success, okay? It's this. It's not about how far forward you step. It's about how less far backwards you fall. Okay? You can climb and climb and climb, and that's great. If you're a climber, that's great. But the people that win, the people that succeed in life are the people who fall back the least. They're the people who fuck up the least. Okay? They're not the most brilliant. They're not the best. Okay? But what they do is they hold on to the gains that they make. They don't lose them. That's the key. That's the key. Heck, if you want to be a successful stock trader, investor, right? I've done all that. I've done real estate investment. I can tell you, it's not about getting big wins. It's about avoiding big losses. That is the key, and that's the key to life, okay? I've attempted time and time again to move these mountains, but things just keep going wrong, and I don't know why. I will not accept mediocre existence. Good. Death seems more preferable to me. Bad. No. It doesn't work that way. You don't get to say, well, if I'm not winning the game, then I guess I won't play the game. Fuck that. Go and win the game, all right? I'm not a quitter, and I'll never be one, but what else is left for me? To actually fucking put your nose to the grindstone, all right? I've persisted despite all of the bullshit naysayers. It puts me in a rage when I want it bad enough and simply not enough. What is your take? I can elaborate more if needed. No, I don't need any more elaboration. You don't want it bad enough. If you wanted it bad enough, you would go and do it. Okay, that's what it comes down to. Let's what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna grab his other email response and my email. I said, Drew, it's not your ADHD. Stop blaming ADHD. Pretend like you don't have it and get your shit together. No one is going to save you but you. And that's what this whole video is about. Okay, which he responded and he said, I must say I wasn't expecting that response, and I've been taking responsibility for myself. You guys tell me, has Drew been taking responsibility for himself? Okay, I'm calling, Drew, by the way, I'm calling you out publicly. Why? Is it because I hate your guts and I'm an asshole? No, it's because I love you, man. I love you. I want to see you succeed, okay? When I read your email, my heart is pouring out to you, okay? I feel bad for you in your situation, okay? But I'm not going to do what other people do. I'm going to turn around and kick your ass because I expect more of you, okay? If I didn't care about you, I would just delete your fucking email and I would not read it. I would not make a video. I would not kick your ass. But I feel like you do have potential, and that's why I'm taking this time. And for you guys that are watching, that are listening to this, okay, same goes for you, okay? I am here making these videos trying to help you because I feel like you guys have potential, okay? If you're here, if you're watching this channel, if you want to have the Bulldog mindset, then yes, but it's not just enough to watch the video. It's not just enough to say that you want it. You got to fucking do it. You got to live it. You got to breathe it. I want to know how do you have so much energy? Where are you getting it from? Yes, it is the ADHD. I wouldn't fucking destroy my life on purpose. Okay, so let's address these one by one. How do I have so much energy? Where am I getting it from? Okay, guys, so I'm going to tell you. It's just like this. Actually, there's a little more piece of this. We're going to kind of break this apart. He says here, we're going to skip down. How are you not mentally drained? I'm not understanding what separates you and me besides resources, obviously. No, that's not it. I get exhausted from even 30 hours of work a week. Okay. So here's the deal, guys. All right, I'm going to give you the secret here. How do I have so much energy? What's the difference between me and Drew? It's simply this, okay? Why I'm going to focus on this idea that he said that 30 hours of work a week exhausts him. I believe it. I've even done videos talking about this phenomenon. Okay, here's the deal. Here's what you got to do. All right? Actually, let me give you an analogy. All right? So, I'm training for a marathon right now. So, let me show you guys. Okay, this is my marathon training program. It doesn't matter if you can really see it, but I've got it on paper here, and you can see there's multiple weeks and what I need to run every week. Okay. Now, I ran a marathon last year. I ran a couple last year. All right, and I was in really good physical shape. Right, I could run 20 miles like no problem. All right, when I ran the Las Vegas marathon last year, I did it. I was running like 8.5-minute miles, sub 8.5-minute miles, and it just felt like nothing. My heart rate was only like 150. Right, it was easy. I was just cruising. I felt great. I ran the last 6 miles faster than I ran the first 20. Like I ran super fast pace, like a 7-minute mile pace. Like for me, again, I'm 230 pounds, so if you're 140 pounds, you might be like, yeah, that's not fast. Okay, but fine. For me, it's pretty fucking fast. All right. So I was in great physical shape. All right. Now, I took off for the last like 2 or 3 months right after January, and I stopped running. Okay. I stopped running completely. And now I'm running again, and I'm in like week 4 of my marathon training program. And, and I ran like 11 miles today, or no, I ran 8 miles today, and it was hard. It was tough. It was not easy. It was not a breeze, okay? And I ran pretty damn slow, like 11.5-minute miles or something like that, maybe 11-minute miles, okay? So here's the thing, though. What I have to do, like what you do in a marathon training program is that you run the mileages, right? Like, let me give you kind of an idea, right? So the first week is like 3 miles, 5, 3, these are days, right? 3, 5, 3, 5 at pace, and then 10 is your long run on Sunday. Then you go 3, 5, 3, 5, 11. Then you go 3, 6, 3, 6, 8. Then you go 3, 6, 3, 6, 13. Then 3, 7, 3, 7, 14, okay? And I'll skip down to week like 14 where you're running, or let's say week 15, 5, 10, 5, 10, 20. And guess what? By the time you get to week 15, do you think that 20 miles is hard? It's moderately hard, but it's easier than 8 miles at week 3. Why? Because you have to train yourself. You build up to it. You start putting more miles on. So it's the same thing here. 30 hours a week worth of work, okay, will tire you right now. Just like 30 miles a week will tire me right now, okay? But eventually I'll get up to the point where I'm running 50, 60 miles a week again, and I won't feel tired. Why? Because I'm going to gradually increase that, and I'm going to build up my capacity, and it's going to seem relatively easy. Whatever you're doing will seem tough, okay? If I only run 10 miles a week, 10 miles will seem tough, okay? If that's all that I ever do, it will seem tough. Okay, but I can get myself to the point where running 100 miles a week won't seem tough if I keep on pushing and keep on going further, and I keep on running more and more miles. The same thing here. If you work a job and you only work 20 hours a week, okay, it's going to feel tough working 20 hours a week. But if you start working 25 and 30 and 35 and you're putting in more time and your day is just fucking packed with shit and you're just working like a dog, you're eventually going to develop that work capacity and it's going to become easier. That's the difference. The difference was just the way that I'm training for a marathon, I also trained myself to work, okay? I busted ass. For 2 to 3 years, I hustled really, really hard. That was that hustle period. Now I don't have to work as hard for sure, okay? Now I've got the resources. Yes, you're right about that. But I worked really, really fucking hard, working 60, 70-hour weeks for a long period of time until that became the normal. And when that became the normal, it wasn't as hard. I'm not just going to say it wasn't hard at all, but when I first started working 60 or 70-hour weeks, it was really fucking hard. It took every ounce of willpower and discipline for me to do that, okay? But now it's not as hard. Yes, it is the HD. I wouldn't fucking destroy my life on purpose. No one destroys their life on purpose, okay? Everyone makes decisions based on what they think is right. But there's 2 things always that when we fuck up, there's 2 reasons why. 1, we lack knowledge, or 2, we lack discipline, and sometimes both. Okay, so which is it? In your case, Drew, it's discipline. You lack discipline. All right, you're not fucking up your life on purpose. You lack some knowledge too, perhaps, but you primarily lack discipline. Of course, you're not fucking up your life on purpose. I don't think you're fucking up your life on purpose, but you're not doing the right things. You're not building the discipline. He says, did you read what I wrote? I may have been long, but still my point is I'm taking responsibility and failing miserably. Okay, so I'm not going to go into details of ADHD if you don't believe it's real, but that's fine by me. I just want to know how you're able to do all this. So I have to ask you guys, and I have to ask you, Drew, are you really taking responsibility? Because, you know, we made this kind of a public forum now, and I've read your email, and I read the whole thing, and I read it out loud, and I think that most of the people, I mean, comment below if you think that Drew is currently taking responsibility. Do you think he's taking responsibility for his life, or do you think he's blaming all this shit on the ADHD? Okay? If he got rid of that one excuse, do you think his life would be better or worse? Right? If he just pretended like he never heard of ADHD and pretended like he didn't have it and just set the bar as a normal person, and maybe he'd have to work twice as hard as someone else. Sure, maybe. I've been in that boat for sure. Okay? I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Okay? I have so many, like, the base John, like the John that you guys don't know, okay, before making millions of dollars, before getting in shape and all of this stuff, before any of that stuff, the base version of me, like, you know, the stats I rolled, all right, my character was like fucking lazy, fat, shy, undisciplined, you name it, like any of those things, right? We could throw ADHD in there because I was unreal. Okay, so I had to change all that shit. I had to build all that shit. I had to take responsibility. You have to take responsibility. Really take responsibility. That means no excuses. Valid or not, valid excuses are still excuses. That's the thing that a lot of you guys, that it's the one thing that's stopping you from actually having the Bulldog mindset, is that you think that excuses that are valid are okay. And I'm saying no excuses are okay. It doesn't fucking matter, all right? When I ran my last marathon, okay, I did the dopey challenge, all right? I'll end on this, all right? It was a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and the full marathon back to back, okay? Now, I trained for this shit, but guess what happened 2 weeks before I was supposed to run this race? I broke my ribs, okay? I took a knee to the ribs, all right? Now, I had cracked fucking ribs. And I ran all those races. Now, I didn't set any kind of personal best. I didn't set a PR on those. But I completed the races. I didn't even miss a fucking training day. Okay? The day after I got my ribs broken, all right, I went on a 16-mile run. It hurt like fucking hell. It was horrible. Okay? Running the actual marathon, after running a half marathon the previous day with fucking cracked ribs, and then trying to run the marathon with ribs I hoped had healed up, but they did not heal up by then. It was fucking miserable. One of the most miserable experiences of my life. Okay? But I didn't let it stop me. I didn't say, oh, well, you know, I've got cracked ribs, so I guess I'm just not going to run this race. Or, you know, I pushed it. I did what I could. I pushed as hard as I did not let that be an excuse. Even though it was a valid excuse. Everyone thought I was crazy for running. I didn't give a shit. I am not going. They said I pretend like I didn't have cracked ribs. I'm like, fuck that. I'm still going to act and perform and do whatever I can as if I didn't have them. And yes, they did hold me back. Of course it did. Of course it did. But it didn't stop me from actually competing and pushing as hard as I can and pretending like I didn't have it. And so that's what taking responsibility is. Taking responsibility isn't just admitting that your life is fucked up, okay, and trying to, quote, take charge of your life. It's actually fucking doing it. That's what taking responsibility is, guys. And let me know what you guys think about this situation. Leave a comment below. I'll talk to you next time. And much love to you.